and we're getting ready to take a tour of my classroom. So just a little bit about my classroom here before we start. Thanks, Tracy. Welcome. My classroom is, this classroom that I'm in right now, where I'm speaking to you from, is only 13 by 13 feet. Okay, so it's located in my home. But prior to this, I spent 20 years teaching in public programs, exclusively working with at-risk and second language learners in the early childhood classroom. So that's where my passion is. And now I have this classroom in my home where I do have children come. And I thought I would share it with you. So it's set up very, very similar to the classroom that I had in the public school. It's just a lot smaller. So of course, there are a lot fewer children that come to visit me here. Yay, Judy's got the Power Hour email today. Yay, Lori, yay. Okay. So now that we have some folks in the house, and if you know of anybody out there who might like to see a tour of my little classroom here, let them know by sharing this broadcast with them in any way that you see fit. When you hit that little share button there, and they can also enjoy the tour with us, whether that's now or later. Hi, Amy. Uvanda's here. Welcome, everybody. Okay, let me see if I can turn the camera around. And I will do my best. Okay, those are the doors. I will do my best to have a camera that doesn't shake. I bought something to stabilize it, but then I realized I didn't know how to use it. So it didn't work out so well, did it? Okay, so let's start over in this corner here. And as I go along, I'm sure you will have lots of questions or comments, and Tom is standing by ready with links to give you. Because we've done more than 100 of these Facebook Live broadcasts, I have done broadcasts about every single center that you see here in the classroom. So he will be sharing links to those previous videos with you. So if you missed them, you can go back and watch them so you can get an in-depth on each center. And he'll also be sharing links to the pictures that you can see more of the site, more of the centers and what's inside over on the blog. So here, so this is the corner of my room. Let me just turn around in like a 360 here. I don't know if Facebook Live has a 360 feature, so I'm just going to turn around. I'm just turning around slowly. So there's the doors again. Okay, and then we'll start over in this corner. So in this corner, this doubles as my circle area. Okay, and that's an oil drip pan on the wall, and it's just secured to the wall with that really sturdy 3M industrial Velcro. And I did a whole broadcast on the calendar and rethinking calendar time and circle time and all that good stuff. So you can go back and watch that. If you're a tribe member and you're watching, I did add the Who is Here Today School and Home to the vault last night. So you have those that you can go and grab right away. And let me know in the comments below if you can see it, the screen, if you can see it the right way or is it backwards? Because I had it flipped the other way, but when I turned it around, I think that it flipped it back the wrong way. So let me see if I can, there we go. Does that look better to anybody? Okay, there we go. I don't know what I was doing. Okay, so you can go back and look at, there we go, Lori, I fixed it. Let's see if that's better. You can go back and watch that broadcast where I talk about the circle time. I did that last week. Thank you, Sarah. And there is our little schedule pocket chart. And above you can see my name wall or word wall, whatever you prefer to call it. And at the very top above that are the birthday bags, and you can download those. Those are free labels, birthday bag labels you can download for free in the Pre-K Pages store. And that's my Pete the Cat wreath. That's a book wreath where you take a book apart and you make a like cone wreath out of it. It's super cool. Shannon, the alphabet letter line, that is over in the Pre-K Pages store. It's called Word Wall, or you can call it Name Wall. So you can go over and grab that in the store. If you're a Teaching Tribe member, that'll be in the vault under Teacher Resources. Okay, and then immediately to the right of my circle time, so this is the area where the kids would sit, you see. And I have little like placemats there in the corner. I don't know if you can see them when we go to the Science Center. I'll show them to you. But they're just placemats from IKEA, and then the children can use those as sit-upons or whatever you want to call them, little spots on the carpet there. And then over here in the corner, we have the Science Center. So I have very limited space, like I said. So I got this skinny little bookshelf here. Hey, Patricia, this is in my home. So this particular classroom is only 13 feet by 13 feet. So I only have 6 kids in there once at the most. When I was in public school and I had a much larger classroom, I had 22 or more. So you can imagine this is much more desirable now. So here is the Science Center. So I always have books in the Science Center, and I can get those books down and put them on the floor. They're just in a plastic tub. And I have my Science Center sign. So all of these signs tell the adults in the classroom what we're learning. And then there's a picture of the center as well. Ideally, this would be a little lower, but this is the space I have. I could try to see if I could put it on the back of the shelf, but then I don't think anyone would see it. So on the top shelf of the Science Center, I just have one of those magnifying glasses from Learning Resources, and then we'll put natural objects there for them to observe and look at, things that we find outside. And then I usually have in my Science Center things you can see, hear, touch, and smell. And so here I have some Discovery bottles. I have a whole video about Discovery bottles and how I make them. And these are old-fashioned film canisters, and they've had the lids glued on, and they have different things inside, and they have to find the 2 that match. And then down there are smelly bottles on the right. Those are little sports water bottles that I fill with potpourri, and then when they squeeze them, the scent comes out the top. And then there's a board that they can touch. It's a cutting board. And I have a whole post about that over at Pre-K Pages. Just look for touch board. And then over here, some of you asked for these little signs here. This is just like I don't do bulletin boards, really. I just put up kids' work. So to make it easy, you just, I use black sheets for my bulletin boards, black flat sheets from Walmart, because they never fade and you can use them year after year after year. And I just put up some bulletin board border, and then I stapled some pieces of teal cardstock to the bulletin board, and then I added a clothespin to the top of the teal paper. I clipped it on the top, and then I hot glued their little pictures and their little names to those clothespins, and then I clipped the paper underneath that says reserved for, and that's their work. And since I don't have 8 students, I just said reserved for nobody. And then we can add extra work there. And then above, these are plates from the dollar store that I just cut out black circles, and then I cut out the letters to spell welcome. Nobody sees the words welcome except myself and the other adults in the room because it's too high. But here they can put their artwork. And then this is the Alphabet Center, and what I'm trying to do here in my classroom is I want to make, I used to have some of these a long time ago, but like little curtains that will Velcro to the front, because when we do circle time, it's distracting to have these things here. So I'm going to make some little curtains there. I really want those cabinets that have the rolling tops on them, you know, like an accordion top, but they're super expensive. So in the meantime, I think I'm going to make some of those curtains I used to have and Velcro those to the front. So when we're here and we're doing circle time, these things will be covered. But this is my Alphabet Center. And again, I have my sign, my center sign there that tells the adults what it is we're doing in the Alphabet Center. And then a picture of it for the children. And then I have my books and my Chicka Chicka Boom Boom tree. You can learn all about that over at Pre-K Pages. And then in the beginning of the year, I only really put out 3 things until they really understand how to use them. Because if I put out any more than that, I'm not setting them up for success, or myself either. So I found that the fishing game is one thing that they all love, and they seem to understand how it works really intuitively. So I put the fishing game out. That's from Lakeshore. And then I have my puppy chow game and my alphabet race car game there. And you can find out more about those over on the blog. I can come back and drop links later. So I just have 3 things out. I actually wouldn't even have that Chicka Chicka Boom Boom tree there until I introduced the book. And then these are places where other things will go when it's time to introduce them. So I have a whole video that I did recently on how to introduce centers. You can go and watch that so you can see what the process is. And I have an email going out to my email list tomorrow about how to get kids to clean up. Here's the writing center. Now this one is not set up for the beginning of the year, so I would take away a lot of this stuff. This is a cool little paper rack I got from IKEA. The drawers slide out, which I love. They just slide out really easily, and they can use that. I mean, it's not that tall, far off the ground. I got my writing center sign. And these are drawers where we keep markers. I probably wouldn't have these drawers out until I did a whole lesson on introducing them to how they work. I would probably just have some crayons, some pencils, some paper in the beginning of the year, and then I would slowly introduce like the whiteboards and other things over time. But I really would just have these paper, crayons, pencils, and really that's all until I can teach them how these other things work, because they're not intuitive to them. And you really have to teach them how to use the markers. Otherwise, these children in my classroom right now are 3, but when I taught in public school, all of my students were 4 by the first day of school, and they were then turning 5 during the school year. Okay, so that's the writing center. And then if they want to write, they take it over here, and that is, I think that's, I can't remember the name of it, Philsat. I think that's what it's called from IKEA. It's actually a sensory bin table. That's what I use it for. And the lid, the top comes off in 2 pieces, so we use it as a table. And then when we're not using it as a table, we can also use it as a sensory table. And then I have another sensory bin underneath there if we want to pull that out too. That's actually just, or I'm storing some sensory bin stuff right now. So they just come over here to the table when they want to do that. So there's the writing center, and then there's the table. This chair is not usually here. It's where I usually broadcast Facebook Live from. So that's what the chair is doing there. If the kids are in the class and I need to sit down for any reason, I just use that stool there, that green stool. And then over here is the block center, and I did a whole Facebook Live about the block center last week. Probably at the beginning of the year, I would just have the blocks on the first day until they could show me that they could clean up. Yeah, this is in my home, Lori, so I have to work with what I have. I would love to have tile. That would be my ideal, I think, but we gotta do with what we got. So those are colored foam blocks on the bottom shelf. And then I have other things up here that I would introduce a little bit later. So I just take these 4 top bins off, put them in my closet. We've got magnet blocks, bristle blocks, Duplo, and people and cars. I might keep out that big one there on the first day. And then our books, and of course our center sign, our block center sign, what it looks like, and then what we're learning. The learning part is for the adults. And I have some books about transportation and building there as well. And then if you'll notice, all the bins have a picture on one end and a picture on the other end, and then a picture on the shelf too. And I just put those on with the little clear vinyl pockets from the Target Dollar Spot this summer. They stick onto the ends of the tubs, and then you can slide the labels in and out. And then there's a matching one on the shelf, and there's one on each end of the bin. And that way the kids are really successful when they clean up. Are you open each day? No, I'm not. No, this is just in my home, a couple days. I wish my district could provide oh, I know, it's such a pain. I've had years where I didn't have any kind of shelving that was appropriate, and other years when I had too many. So it's always hit or miss. So we're directly behind the block center. Now this isn't ideal, but because I have such a small room, I have to do what I can. But ideally, sorry, my sweater got caught. I would have my block center away from my library center. So over here I have the honeydew shelf. I got that on Amazon last year, and I just have my book baskets in there, and I did a whole broadcast, Facebook Live broadcast on how I organize the books. My kids can totally put the books back in the right place because each book has a sticker on it that matches the label. So here we have nursery rhymes, and all the books in the nursery rhyme box have a yellow sticker on them. And so they just match the yellow sticker to the yellow sticker. And over here we have some reading buddies. There's one of my favorite books, Mr. Wiggles. And I didn't actually, the little puppet thing there, he came from the dollar store. He wasn't actually made to be Mr. Wiggles, but boy does he look like him, right? So here's all the books. So I try to have books available for the children out at all time. And Katie, you can go over and watch that broadcast from a while back on my Facebook page, which is where you are right now. And just click on the videos tab and you can search for Classroom Library. So up here on the wall, there I have my library center sign. It tells the adults in the room what we're learning there. And then these are rain gutters. These are plastic rain gutters that Tom has just cut and attached to the wall. And then I have some, you know, stuffed animals in the matching books on display. These are on display. They're too high for the children to reach, although they do love to reach up and grab Pete's feet or the pigeon's feet and pull them down and carry them around. But I got the pigeon at Kohl's this summer. I got Pete on Amazon, and I think I got David on Amazon. And then these are book jackets from the hardcover books. And you just take the book jacket off and you cut out these little triangles and you clothespin them to a little piece of twine. So I think it would look really cool going all the way around the classroom. So there's that. And over here, I love my command, my 3M command Velcro. And so I put some cookie sheets, metal cookie sheets or magnetic cookie sheets. And I attached those to the fronts of my cabinets. So when the kids are here, the cabinets are locked, but I left them open so you could peek in there tonight. And then they can spell their names or their friends' names or words in the books or whatever they want. And I have their little name cards here. On the honeydew cart comes with 2, or maybe it's 3 pocket charts. And you can keep all kinds of stuff. So I've got my microphones and my sunglasses without the sunglass part, and their name cards and pointers in there. And on the back is the other pocket chart that I can use when I want. And then here I found these little clothespin boards at Target last year. And I Velcroed those to the doors of my cabinets, and now the kids can choose to put up their work. And these are from last year. I just asked my kids if they would make one for me to keep over the summer. And then over here, this is kind of like, I don't have a desk, but this is my teacher area, if you will. So it's just 2 shelves in between the 2 cabinets. And those letters there, I think, are from Michael's from a few years ago. And then I have a metal board, like a reminder board. That's from IKEA. And then I keep all my school supplies, like my office supplies, in this little drawer thingy here. It's a nuts and bolts organizer. And that way I can get whatever I want when I need it, and I don't have to dig for it. I don't like to dig for stuff. There's my silhouette, which I have, but I'm not really good at using. And my teacher planner and my lesson planner and all that good stuff. And then over here, we have another set of cabinets, and I really wanted to be able, I wanted the kids to be able to paint, But as Lori pointed out, I have carpet in here. So I got these little ledges from IKEA. They're like for displaying artwork, I guess. And so I put these big metal cookie sheets up here. They were more industrial size cookie sheets. And I laid them in the ledge. And then I hot glued some clothespins to the front. I've always hot glued clothespins to the front of my easels because the kids can never reach the top of the easel. So now they can just push on the clothespins and add paper to their makeshift easel here. And then we use the quick sticks. And this is really popular. They love, love, love those quick sticks. Hey, Kathy, you should come over. I can come pick you up. So the quick sticks are awesome because they're paint, but they open like glue sticks and they dry almost instantly. And so they love, that's what all these pictures here were made with quick sticks. Well, not that one on the end, but they're very, 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 very quick and easy. And if they get on anything, they come right off. So I just need to get a wet rag and wipe off the paint that got onto the cookie trays there. It even comes off the white cabinets and the tables. So I just get a magic eraser and whatever they've marked on, it comes right off. So and over here we have like a safe spot or a calm down area, whatever you want to call it. And then we have another rain gutter up there. And look, Tom bought me a cute little teacher clock. I had one from IKEA or something that died, so he got me this one. So yes, I got the quick sticks on Amazon, Katie, but I saw them at Michael's not long ago too. Yes, quick sticks. And I think they're spelled funny here. Let's look. Quick sticks. Quick sticks. Yes, they're quite popular now, so you should be able to find them in other places, but I always get them on Amazon. They're about $9.99 for a pack, I think. Thanks, Jen. So over here is my like calm down center, and those are spice racks on the wall from IKEA, wooden spice racks. They always have them out. There was a post on Pinterest that went viral, or a pin on Pinterest a couple years ago, and ever since then they keep these spice racks in the checkout aisles at IKEA. But you just put them on the wall, attach them to the wall, and then you can store books on them. So I have books about feelings and you know, how kids feel in there. A lot of them are board books because if they're going there, they're probably sad, right? And then I have some of those emoji pillows. I found some at Five Below and some at Walmart last year. And then my Nuffle Bunny from Target. Not Target, I'm sorry, Kohl's. I also have a little box if I need to make it portable. I have some other tools in there. And some of these resources, like the Calm Down Choices and the little book and the cards, strategy cards, those are all in my store. Or, oh yeah, Wanda's going to IKEA tomorrow. She needs a list. Those Calm Down resources are in my store. If you're a tribe member, you can get them over in the vault right now. So I like this to have soft pillows there that they can hug if they are having issues with separation anxiety or just feeling sad or whatever. And then I have a picture of the center and of course what we're learning there. That's over in the store too. If you're in the tribe, it's under teacher resources. And then that takes us over to the dramatic play center. And this is a little table from IKEA. I forget the name of it, but it's right where the Philsat sensory table was, the same place. It's almost the same thing, only it doesn't have the bins underneath. So there's a little table there. It wipes off really, really well with a magic eraser. It had paint all over it. Looks great now. And again, I love my cookie sheets. So I put those on the back of the shelf with my industrial Velcro, again, the 3M Velcro. Then I have some 3M hooks on the wall. I don't work for 3M. Their stuff comes in really handy in the classroom. I have some hooks on the wall and some props. And then this board here, I can change it out. So I have 21 different dramatic play printable kits over in the Pre-K Pages store or in the vault. And so I can change up my board in my Dramatic Play Center. So this is left over from a birthday party theme that I had. And I had a little happy birthday sign up there and all that good stuff. But right now it's just my flat black sheet from Walmart. And then I have some border up. So I don't do like fancy bulletin boards. Do you get 3M Velcro from Amazon too? You can, but we find a lot at Walmart. And then I have my pocket charts from the Target Dollar Spot. I like to have one of those there with some picture cards in there, and these are left over from my birthday theme. But usually whatever theme I have in the Dramatic Play Center, I have some matching cards to stimulate conversation and promote oral language and vocabulary. And then these are, now because I have such a small space, I had a beautiful white kitchen, you know, one of those nice wooden ones. It was gorgeous. But it just took up so much room and I just didn't have space for it anymore. So these are Sterilite storage containers. I think that's how you say it, from Walmart. So there's one. They usually have them going back to college time, you know, like college students going back to school. They have a lot of these because they're great for dorms. But there's 3 drawers here. And I made these little printables, stove burners and knobs, and then the fronts of the oven. So I'm cooking 3 pies there. Yeah, Renee's right. Walmart's really the best place for 3M. And those, you just print that off on sticker paper, and then it sticks to your drawers. And you have a little makeshift kitchen that only cost you less than $20. And then this skinny one, I don't know what it's used for in real life, but Tom spray painted it silver, and now I have a stainless steel refrigerator. And then I made the little water thing there. So inside those drawers are the food and the dishes and all that good stuff. So food and dishes, they go in those drawers. And anything that you wear gets hung up here. And then this is this little art cart from IKEA. They have them in like the gardening section, I think. And I got it last year. It was like $12. And I use it as a baby bed. So on 2 shelves, we have our babies. Because I had a beautiful, like, Little Tykes baby doll, you know, bassinet type thing. But it doesn't fit in this small space. So the baby dolls take up 2 places. They have bunk beds. And then on the top, I put my books. Now, in the beginning of the year, I really just have 2 baby dolls. And honestly, I prefer them if they're naked on the first day because they spend so much time taking off the clothes and then trying to put them on and they get frustrated. So just naked babies. A few pieces of fruit, maybe a couple plates. I don't have any of my purses out because they just like to stuff things inside. So until I can introduce all this stuff, I'll just keep it very minimalistic. I won't put any books out just yet. No kid goes to the Dramatic Play Center to read books. But eventually they will when I introduce it to them. Then I have my Dramatic Play Center sign. It tells the adults what we're learning here. And then I got this little, this is a cafe rod from Walmart. It's a couple of bucks. And then I got the curtains at Daiso. They have these little curtains for $1.50. Just a little cafe curtain, and so for less than like $3, I have like a window. I could make it cuter, but Heather says those carts are a lot more now, $25. Yeah, at IKEA, they're a lot cheaper than they are at Target or anything like that. It was really cheap at IKEA. Everything in IKEA is dirt cheap compared to Target or any place. Target's like the Cadillac of stuff. So that is, oh, I have another one of those rain gutter shelves there. And this one's got Hungry Caterpillar in it. So I'm just going to turn around again, and you can see I got that little banner off Etsy. It kind of matches my colors. Oh, that was IKEA. Oh my goodness, in 1 year it went up in that price, Heather? That's crazy. IKEA, what's up with that? So here I am, I'm just turning around, ta-da, and then we're back at the door. So that is a tour of my tiny classroom, and I can change things out. Let me just flip the camera around. I can change things out. It's good if I don't put my hand in front of the camera part. I can change some of the centers out. Like I had the math center out instead of the blocks for a little while, but my 3-year-olds were like, no. No. So I'll get those things out individually as we need them. So I don't have that set up in the classroom because they want the cars and the blocks and that's fine. We don't need an elaborate math center set up all the time. I have everything in tubs and bags and I can get them out whenever we want to play with them. So, but for the most part, I think I have science, literacy, blocks, writing, dramatic play, library, and my writing in my writing center doubles as art. I've got the easel. So I think I've got a lot. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. Don't forget, share it with a friend if you know anybody who would like to take a tour of a preschool classroom.